Everything is silent. There's no wind. There's no bugs, no animals. It's like the whole world is just holding its breath for the big show. I did not succeed in getting the siding on the shed. Fingers crossed that it will survive another winter. I know the snow is coming. I can feel it. It's a dead, gray world. All at once, the whole world turns gray. It's almost monochrome. Even me. Well, it is coming down. This is goodbye to the world of life, of living things. Which on the one hand, that means goodbye bugs, so celebration. But it also means goodbye greenery, flowers, birds, blue sky even. It doesn't rain much out here, but don't get a lot of sunny days during the winter. It tends to be a lot of this gray void. So I'm taking a farewell stroll across my landscape here. And I'm thinking about the feeling of this shift. It's just now my second winter in the shed, in this place. And last year, I didn't really get to savor it. It happened so suddenly. I was in the middle of all those construction projects, and it just fell upon me without warning. I raced to put away all my tools, and it was just buried in it. I did not have time to notice that it was happening until it was already there. And I was like, I guess it's winter now. This year is a little different. This year I've been thinking about it. I've been planning for it for a while. You may remember a couple of videos ago, I talked about this. In fact, I think it was my first major video. I mentioned how I was eager for winter because it means that I can shift my activities away from build man, away from the sweat and sawdust life into the mind life, which is where I prefer to live, not gonna lie. I find myself now urgently in need of that retreat, that locking down, that narrowing down, as I said in that video, of options and distractions. Because as it stands, I have 2 gigantic creative projects that need to happen this winter. There's this video game, and then there's this other project, which I can't really announce as of the time of this filming. Hopefully I will be able to soon. It couldn't be better timing in a way, because now I will be locked away in the shed and just be allowed to soak in it, sink into it. Grass guys are hanging in there. You guys got to be operating at 0 power. Bud, you still alive? Or are you just a statue? No, it's still kicking. Still got it. Wish there was something I could do for it. Good luck, buddy. Good luck in the next life. So as I'm shifting into winter here, I'm letting the feeling of disconnection seep into me. And it's a sigh of relief. I feel like I'm relaxing my body. I'm sinking back into the snow and just getting lost in a soft blanket. And I love the feeling of waking up, knowing what I'm supposed to be doing that day, getting my coffee, settling in, and just going to work. I love it. And then here we are, empty landscape. It's like the stage has been set. And this is really why I did this. It was a big part of why I came out here. When I left Seattle, when I decided to be done with the urban life, the core of that decision was a reorganizing of priorities. I realized at that time that I was spending the majority of my time, money, mental energy on activities that are part of the city, social life, going out, hedonistic pleasures, and I still like those things, but they are not my priority. My priority, the thing that gives me the most life, the thing that I crave, is the mind life. It is the creative life. It is going into that other world, or out into that other world, as I tend to believe it is something that is not inside my brain, but other layers of reality that I tap into. Going there and seeking that place, trying to find it, trying to get closer to it, sink deeper into it, is what my life is really about. That is my priority. That is my goal, my quest. And so when I left the city, it was just a simple attempt to flip that priority. Rather than live amongst all those distractions and then take vacations out into the country to have my deep dives, rent a cabin in the woods and, finish my novel, I just flipped that around. Now I live in that and I take vacations to the hedonism. So this life is isolating. It is about the isolation. That is a big part of the purpose of me being out here. And it's like that in the middle of summer. But winter is the ultimate expression of that. It's isolation within isolation, where even this landscape, even the people who live out here, grew up out here, even they disappear or they go quiet. Everything just stops. And it becomes just a big, soft blanket. Like the world is just telling me, okay, go do your thing. You have no more excuse. Just go do it. So I'm going to go do it. I once had a psychedelic experience, one of the most intense that I've ever had, where I was alone, one of the few times I've done it alone in my own home. And at night. And at the peak of this experience, I felt like I was pushing my way through layers of curtains into some dark space. And each layer felt like not just a visual veil, but some kind of border between kind of a conceptual layer of reality, different ideas parting in front of me as I passed deeper into them. Concepts like, space and time and language and just the building blocks of consciousness, I guess, the reality as we know it. And as I got deeper, it started to become less and less comprehensible until I reached this point where it was like a glittering metallic blackness that I understood was just beyond concepts. It was some kind of infinity that couldn't be described or compartmentalized in any way. And it was terrifying. At the time, I had the thought that if I go in there, I'll die, because my mind will be absorbed into that, and I will essentially disintegrate, and I will never be able to come back. So I backed away from it. And yet, it still haunts me and compels me. I don't want to disappear into it forever, not yet. But I want to touch the edges of it. I feel drawn to it. And I feel like I get close to that place in the peak moments of my creative work, when I am creating something that is really firing, and I can feel my brain singing like a resonant frequency, like a singing bowl or a wine glass where you hit that friction point and the whole thing begins to resonate. I feel that happening in my mind. Not always, there's mundane elements of it too, but there are times when I hit that frequency and I feel like I'm reaching out towards something. The dark part of it, it's dark in the way that sinking into your bed is dark. It is not a menacing darkness. It's not gloomy or scary. It's like sleep, in that blissful, rich feeling of when you're very tired and it's been a long day, you've worked hard, and you finally get to go and you just cuddle up in bed, and it's just, you can feel your body just, the gratitude of your body as it says, thank you for releasing me into this. The privilege of being able to just close your eyes and sink into that luxury. That it's a strange form of almost physical pleasure when you go to sleep. And I think that part of why it feels so good is that it's a way of approaching that veil, that something, that space that's beyond our day-to-day lives. And that feeling is what winter is about for me. It's not literal sleep, not actual oblivion, but that feeling of withdrawing into rest and letting go of the world out here and just curling up inside yourself and savoring that inner space. So my plans for this winter: make a lot of hot, spicy stew, drink a lot of tea, drape myself in a lot of blankets, wear a lot of wool, cuddle a lot of cat. If you can see him through the window. And just sink into it. Sink into this strange little box that I live in with this guy. Savor it. That's the plan. You like that plan, Bobo? I bet you do. This means lots of warm lap time because I can't go anywhere.